the beginning of the drama, we are introduced to the female lead, Hwan, a young girl whose life has been shaped by loss and hardship from a very early age. She is still in high school, yet she already carries burdens that feel far too heavy for someone her age. When she was a child, she lost her mother, the person who loved her most and believed deeply in her future. After her mother's death, her father remarried, and from that moment on, Hwan's home stopped feeling like a place of comfort. Her stepmother and stepsister treat her coldly, often with open hostility, as if her very presence is an inconvenience. They look down on her, speak to her harshly, and never miss a chance to remind her that she does not truly belong. Her father, who should have protected her, is distant and emotionally absent. He rarely stays at home and shows little concern for Hwan's struggles, choosing instead to believe whatever his new wife tells him. As a result, Hwan grows up feeling invisible within her own family. Because she cannot rely on anyone else, Hwan works multiple part-time jobs to support herself and pay for daily expenses. Despite her exhaustion, she holds tightly to a single dream. She wants to attend university and become a teacher. This dream is not only for herself but also for her late mother, who once told her that education would open the door to a better life. That promise becomes the one light guiding her through her darkest days. The story then shifts to introduce four very different male leads. Three of them are wealthy, powerful businessmen: Jaewon, Hyun-min, and Seo-woo, all grandsons of the influential Mr. Kang. Each of them has grown up surrounded by privilege, yet none of them are truly at peace. The fourth man is Yoon-sung, Mr. Kang's loyal bodyguard and personal assistant, who stays close to the family at all times and quietly observes everything. Soon after, Hwan crosses paths with Jaewon under unexpected circumstances. She sees him involved in a violent confrontation, beating up several men and taking a purse from them. Assuming the worst, Hwan immediately believes he is a criminal and chases after him without hesitation. However, the truth soon comes out. The men were thieves and Jaewon was simply helping a woman recover her stolen belongings. Realizing her mistake, Hwan feels embarrassed, but at the same time she becomes impressed by Jaewon's sense of justice and quiet kindness. Next, the story introduces Hyun-min, a man known for his flashy lifestyle and reputation as a playboy. He dates women freely, showers them with extravagant gifts, and ends relationships without remorse, often leaving behind expensive cars as parting presents. Despite being surrounded by admirers, he never truly commits to anyone. One woman in particular, Hye, has known him since childhood and harbors deep feelings for him. She is a talented fashion designer, graceful and sincere, but no matter how hard she tries, Hyun-min repeatedly rejects her affection. We are then shown Seo-woo, the third grandson, who is admired by many and considered an ideal figure in society. Calm, composed, and well-respected, he carries himself differently from his cousins, though he remains part of the same complicated family dynamic. Eventually, the three grandsons gather to visit their grandfather, Mr. Kang, and are shocked to learn that he plans to marry again, his fifth marriage. The news creates tension, especially for Hyun-min, who feels deeply offended and angry. The cousins already share a strained relationship, worsened by the fact that Jaewon is considered an illegitimate child within the family. All three men lost their fathers, and Jaewon also lost his mother, leaving emotional scars that never fully healed. Out of frustration, Hyun-min comes up with a reckless plan. He decides that he will bring a random woman to the wedding and cause a scene, hoping to disrupt the event. His friend jokingly suggests that he simply take the first girl who walks into the club. By coincidence, that girl turns out to be Hwan, who arrives there only to deliver food. When the customers insult her, throw away the food, and refuse to pay, Hwan finally snaps. She fiercely confronts them and even fights back, refusing to be humiliated. Hyun-min watches the scene with fascination, immediately drawn to her boldness. Later, Hyun-min tracks Hwan down at the small restaurant where she works and makes her an outrageous offer: work for him for 3 hours and he will pay her an enormous sum of money. Hwan refuses outright, unwilling to sell her dignity no matter how desperate she is. At that moment, Jaewon also enters the restaurant, orders food, and prepares to leave without paying. Hwan stops him, accusing him of trying to cheat her. Jaewon calmly explains that he forgot his wallet and promises to return with the money. When she refuses to believe him, he hands over his expensive watch as collateral, confidently telling her to keep it until he pays. Later, Hwan goes to the cemetery on the anniversary of her mother's death, only to discover something devastating. Her mother's remains have been removed because the maintenance fees were not paid for a long time. Desperate and heartbroken, Hwan begs the staff to restore her mother's resting place. Jaewon, who is there for his own mother's memorial on the same day, witnesses her pain silently. Soon after, Hyun-min approaches Hwan again with a revised proposal. This time he asks her to pretend to be his fiancée for a few hours. Reluctantly and driven by her financial struggles, Hwan agrees. She is taken to Mr. Kang's wedding, where she receives a complete makeover and is introduced into a world far removed from her own. During the ceremony, Hyun Min intentionally draws attention to himself and Hwan, shocking everyone. Hwan realizes she has been tricked. She was never meant to meet a sick grandfather, only to be used as part of Hyun Min's rebellion. Furious, Hwan forces Hyun Min to apologize publicly. Her courage leaves everyone stunned, including Mr. Kang, who is deeply impressed by her strength. However, the situation soon turns sour when Jae-won insults Hwan, accusing her of doing everything for money. He throws cash at her in front of everyone, humiliating her deeply. Hyun Min punches Jae-won in response, while Hwan, hurt and angry, walks away barefoot, returning everything she was given. Later, Mr. Kang investigates Hwan's background and summons her. He offers her a life-changing deal. She will live in the Sky House with his 3 grandsons and help bring them closer together, and in return, he will support her education. Overwhelmed, Hwan initially refuses, believing she is incapable of such a task. Meanwhile, rumors spread in the media claiming Hwan is Hyun Min's fiancé, causing trouble at home. Her stepmother and stepsister accuse her of trapping a rich man. Matters worsen when Hwan confronts her father about unpaid cemetery fees and her stepmother's lies. Instead of listening, her father lashes out, even revealing a cruel claim that Hwan is not his biological daughter. Completely shattered, Hwan leaves home and finally accepts Mr. Kang's offer, moving into the Sky House with the 3 grandsons. Rules are established, misunderstandings grow, and Hwan begins her new life surrounded by people who will challenge, hurt, and ultimately change her forever, just as she will change them. And so her journey truly begins. After moving into Sky House, Hwan slowly begins to experience a life that feels unreal compared to everything she has known before. One evening, when hunger finally overwhelms her, Yoon-seong notices her exhaustion and quietly steps into the kitchen. Unlike the others, he does not speak much, but his actions are gentle. He prepares a warm, carefully cooked meal with his own hands and places it in front of her without making a fuss. Hwan eats the food with deep appreciation, savoring every bite. It is the first time in a long while that someone has taken care of her without expecting anything in return, and that simple kindness leaves a deep impression on her heart. Not long after, Hyun Min reminds her of the strange situation they are trapped in. He tells her that everyone in Sky House believes they are engaged and that they must continue acting like a couple in front of others. According to him, this false image will also protect her since she is surrounded by 3 men. Hwan is annoyed by his smug tone and decides to teach him a lesson. She orders him to raise his hand and begins hitting him without holding back. Hyun Min laughs, dodges her attacks, and eventually catches her wrists, turning the situation into a playful struggle that only makes her more frustrated. Later, Hwan runs into Jae-woon. The moment he sees her, his sharp tongue comes out. He asks her coldly how much money she has taken this time, clearly assuming that she is only staying in Sky House for financial gain. Jae-woon himself has come there with his own hidden intentions. He wants to understand why his grandfather is forcing him, someone who has always lived on the edge of the family, to be involved with the rest of the Kang household. As Hwan spends more time in the house, she notices something strange. The 3 cousins never eat together. Meals are always taken separately, as if an invisible wall stands between them. Mr. Kang notices this as well and assigns Hwan a clear task. She must make the 3 of them sit at the same table and share a meal, no matter what it takes. While Hwan struggles to understand how she could possibly accomplish this, Yoon-seong goes back to her old house to collect her belongings. When her stepmother and stepsister discover that Hwan has moved into Sky House at Mr. Kang's request, they are stunned. Envy and disbelief mix on their faces, and their shock quickly turns into resentment. Among the cousins, Seo-woo is the first to approach Hwan with genuine warmth. He speaks kindly to her and makes her feel welcome. During one conversation, Hwan realizes that the cruel messages sent by her family never reached her phone. She confronts Seo-woo and asks if he deleted them on purpose so she would not be hurt. He admits that he did, smiling softly. His quiet consideration makes her feel seen and protected in a way she is not used to. Curiosity eventually leads Hwan into Jae-woon's private room, a place where he spends most of his time and rarely allows anyone to enter. When he finds her there, he reacts sharply, accusing her of invading his personal space. He demands to know why she is staying in Sky House. Hwan answers vaguely, saying she needs to protect something precious. Jae-woon misunderstands her words and assumes she is talking about money. As she turns to leave, he grabs her arm. The sudden contact enrages her, and she firmly warns him never to touch her again before storming out. What she does not realize is that Jae-woon had actually pulled her away to prevent her from getting hurt. Soon after, an accident occurs near the water and Hwan's belongings fall in. As she desperately tries to retrieve them, the 3 cousins arrive. Seo Woo helps her without hesitation, while Jae Woon silently takes out the same kind of flowers Hwan once brought for her mother's memorial. At the same time, Hyun Min deliberately acts close to Hwan, openly claiming her as his girlfriend to keep Jae Woon at a distance. Because her clothes are soaked, Yoon Seong takes Hwan out to buy new ones. During the shopping trip, she runs into Jae, who is shocked to learn that Hwan is now living in Sky House. When Hwan returns, Hyun Min tells her he has her school uniform and cruelly threatens to cut it if she does not come to his room. Panicking, Hwan rushes there to save it. She tries to get close to him just to land another punch, but Hyun Min grabs her and leans in as if to kiss her. At that moment, Jae Woon and Jae arrive. Jae Woon quickly stops Jae from entering, unwilling to let her see something that would break her heart. Hwan kicks Hyun Min away and escapes, while Hyun Min is left fantasizing about a kiss that never happened. Determined to complete her mission, Hwan tries again to bring the cousins together for dinner. She takes Jae Woon's phone and calls him to the table, then calls the others as well. None of them show up. Refusing to give up, she comes up with another idea. She sits outside their rooms with Yoon Seong and eats deliberately, letting the smell of food fill the hallways. The three men grow hungry but still refuse to come out. Eventually, Hwan learns the truth from the caretaker. Yoon Seong has always eaten alone since childhood. Jae Woon isolated himself after learning the truth about his family origins. Seo Woo sometimes skips meals to maintain his perfect image. Understanding their pain only strengthens her resolve. Elsewhere, Jae Woon watches over Jae while she sleeps and smiles gently, remembering how she once comforted him when he first joined the Kang family. Hyun Min later takes Hwan out again, claiming he will help her succeed. They go to dinner, and unexpectedly Jae Woon and Jae arrive as well. For the first time, they all sit together. Jae is deeply hurt seeing Hyun Min with Hwan. Hyun Min bluntly admits that he likes Hwan because she is different from anyone else. Unable to bear it, Jae leaves and Jae Woon follows her. Later, Hwan asks Hyun Min if he likes Jae. He denies it. Soon after, Jae nearly gets into an accident, but Jae Woon saves her in time. She begs him to make Hwan leave Hyun Min's life. Meanwhile, Hwan tries once more to gather everyone for dinner but fails again. Seo Woo later discovers that it is Hwan's birthday and secretly plans a celebration with Yoon Seong. Jae Woon, seeing Jae hurt repeatedly because of Hyun Min, declares that he will steal Hyun Min's fiancée. A fight breaks out, which Hwan stops. At the birthday gathering, everyone finally comes together. Hwan sends proof to Mr. Kang, completing her task. She clarifies that it is not her birthday, explaining the misunderstanding. As a reward, Mr. Kang pays her tuition and restores her mother's memorial. At the cemetery, Hwan notices another grave belonging to a woman who died on the same day, Jae Woon's mother. Soon, Hwan receives a new mission. She must make the cousins attend their father's memorial ceremony, something they have always avoided. As she works toward this goal, feelings between her and Jae Woon begin to grow. She learns the painful truth about the Kang family's past and encourages Seo Woo to record a song he wrote for his father. At the ceremony, the mothers of Hyun Min and Seo Woo appear. Hyun Min's mother treats Hwan coldly, rejecting her outright. Hyun Min explodes in anger and drags Hwan away, furious that she endured such treatment for his sake. When she calls him her friend, he snaps and denies it, hurting her deeply. Later, Jae Woon helps Hwan when she falls sick, sharing memories of caring for his own mother. A bond forms between them. At the ceremony, Hwan believes she has failed when Jae Woon does not appear. She leaves in despair, unaware that Jae Woon had already come and completed the rituals quietly. Mr. Kang later learns the truth. Hwan's mission was a success. As Hwan leaves Sky House, her stepmother and stepsister attempt to take advantage of her situation. Yoon Seong steps in and throws them out, protecting Hwan without hesitation. And so, Hwan walks away from Sky House forever changed, unaware that her story there is far from over. Not long after everything seems to settle, trouble finds Hwan once again. Consumed by jealousy and resentment, her stepsister decides to strike back in the cruelest way she knows how. She spreads a malicious post online, claiming that Hwan has run away from home and is secretly living with the Kang brothers at Sky House. The rumor spreads quickly, twisting the truth and painting Hwan as someone shameless and dishonest. Overnight, the place she once called home becomes unreachable. With nowhere else to go, Hwan gathers what little courage she has left and heads to Jaeyoung's cafe, the one place where she knows she will not be judged. At the cafe, fate brings her face to face with Jae. Instead of reacting with suspicion or anger, Jae listens quietly as Hwan explains everything. She admits that her stay at Sky House had nothing to do with romance or engagement. It was simply a mission assigned by Mr. Kang. She makes it clear that she was never Hyun Min's fiancée. Hearing the truth lifts a heavy weight from Jae's heart. and for the first time in a long while she smiles with relief. She invites Hwan to stay at her home, offering warmth and shelter without hesitation. As the two spend time together, Hwan learns more about Hae-jae's past. She discovers that Hyun-min and Hae-jae's brother were once close friends during childhood, but that bond was tragically cut short by her brother's death. The revelation adds another layer of sorrow to the tangled relationship surrounding Sky House. The next day marks an important milestone in Hwan's life, her graduation day. She goes to school with mixed emotions, holding onto a small hope that her father will appear. She had sent him a message inviting him to share this moment with her. She waits, scanning the crowd again and again, but he never comes. Disappointment quietly settles in her chest. Meanwhile, the Kang brothers discover that it is Hwan's graduation day. Jae-woon, despite telling himself he should stay away, finds his feet carrying him toward the school without his permission. Hyun-min, on the other hand, shows up with a brand new dress for Hwan, knowing her old one had been ruined. Seo-woo also sees the hateful comments flooding social media, criticizing Hwan for living at Sky House. Unable to stand by, he rushes to the school, determined to protect her from any further humiliation. Jae-woon overhears gossip among a group of women discussing how Hwan once stood up to someone, and sensing danger, he hurries toward her as well. As expected, trouble is already brewing. A group of former classmates corners Hwan, mocking her and pushing her around. Before things can escalate further, Jae-woon steps in. His calm disappears, replaced by raw anger. He confronts the bullies head-on, forcing them to back off and physically driving them away. Without a word, he places his jacket around Hwan's shoulders, shielding her from the stares and whispers, and leads her outside. More boys gather, eager to fight, but Hyun-min intervenes in his own dramatic way. He tosses his car keys onto the ground and announces that anyone who wants them can take them. The distraction works. Most of the boys rush forward. What they do not expect is Yoon-seong, who stands his ground and takes them down one by one, ending the chaos once and for all. Hyun-min hands Hwan her graduation dress and directs her to the broadcasting room so she can change. He follows her inside. As he stands up, the sound system suddenly activates, broadcasting their voices throughout the school. In that unplanned moment, Hyun-min finally confesses his feelings for Hwan, admitting his love without restraint. Every word echoes through the halls. Students stop and listen. The Kang brothers hear everything. Hae-jae, who came to congratulate Hwan, hears it too. Jae-woon rushes to the broadcasting room and shuts the system down. Hwan, shaken but firm, rejects Hyun-min's confession. She tells him that instead of chasing her, he should search his own heart and figure out what he truly wants. Jae-woon hears everything and finally understands the truth. Hwan was never Hyun-min's fiancé. Hae-jae, however, is hurt once more. Unable to face it, she leaves quietly. Hwan departs from the school alone. Elsewhere, Seo-woo is surrounded by an overwhelming crowd of fans. Jae-young steps in, lending him her jacket and helping him escape unnoticed. When everyone returns to Sky House, they realize Hwan is gone. Panic sets in. They search for her, each weighed down by worry. Jae-woon eventually finds Hwan at a small store, crying softly as memories of her broken family overwhelm her. He reassures her, telling her she did not fail her mission. He had attended his father's memorial ceremony in silence. Hearing this, Hwan breaks down, relieved beyond words. Jae-woon brings her back to Sky House, where everyone welcomes her with genuine happiness. Soon after, Hyun-min sees clips of his confession and rejection spreading online. Realizing the whole world has witnessed his embarrassment, he becomes withdrawn and lovesick. He is seen plucking flower petals, mumbling contradictions about love. In his desperation, he even considers plastic surgery, believing a new face might change his fate. A wise doctor stops him and advises therapy instead, pointing out that his pain has nothing to do with appearance. As time passes, Hwan and Jae-woon grow closer, talking freely and building a quiet friendship filled with unspoken emotions. A new task arrives. Hwan must take the Kang brothers on a vacation together. Jae-woon immediately refuses. Seo-woo's schedule is uncertain as well. Thinking quickly, Hwan uses embarrassing photos of Seo-woo from his school days to pressure his manager into clearing his schedule. With Seo-woo secured, she invites Hae-jae too, hoping her presence will convince the others. Jae-woon initially refuses again, but Hae-jae admits she needs his support to face Hyun-min. Torn between jealousy and concern, Jae-woon finally agrees. Hyun-min, however, remains the final challenge. Hwan solves this problem in her own creative way by taking him along while he is still asleep. On the flight, Hyun-min wakes up in disbelief, convinced he must be dreaming. Laughter fills the cabin. Hwan explains her plan. This trip is meant to bring them together as a team. She even provides matching jackets for everyone, insisting they wear them to build unity. Naturally, they all refuse. Hyun-min declares he will enjoy his vacation alone, claiming he rarely gets time off. And so the journey begins, messy, reluctant, and uncertain, but filled with possibilities none of them are ready to admit yet. After everything that happened during the trip, Hwan finally finds the courage to sit down with Hyun Min and speak honestly. She apologizes sincerely, not only for dragging him onto the vacation while he was asleep, but also for rejecting him so openly in front of everyone. She knows that his pride was wounded even if his feelings were not fully clear to him at the time. Hyun Min listens quietly. He admits that if his feelings had truly been love, rejection alone would not have shaken him so deeply. Hwan gently explains that real love is not about possession or showing off. It is about understanding, patience, and respect, things he has never really learned. She bluntly tells him that when it comes to emotional maturity, he still has a long way to go. Nearby, Hae-jae arrives at the pool and jumps into the water, trying to distract herself from her thoughts. At first everything seems fine, but suddenly her movements slow and panic flashes across her face. Her leg cramps and she begins to struggle. Without hesitation, Jae-woon dives in and pulls her to safety. He supports her as she coughs and gasps for air. When she thanks him, he brushes it off, saying anyone would have done the same, yet the concern in his eyes reveals otherwise. He feels guilty seeing her in pain again, especially knowing how often she has been hurt because of Hyun Min. Meanwhile, Hwan drifts into her own memories. Images of her childhood surface, quiet moments with her parents, laughter that feels distant now. Overwhelmed, she decides that if no one wants to follow her carefully planned schedule, she will continue alone. Unknown to her, Jae-woon, who had previously rejected the plan just like the others, shows up exactly where she had arranged to be. At the stables, he joins her without explanation. They go horseback riding together, the rhythmic movement calming both of them. For once, there are no arguments, no misunderstandings, just shared silence and stolen smiles. On their way back, disaster strikes. Hwan realizes the necklace she treasures, the locket that once belonged to her mother, is missing. Panic floods her. That small object holds everything she has left of her mother. She searches desperately through the grass, her hands trembling. Jae-woon watches her carefully, then asks in a low voice what she would give him if he found it. Desperate, she promises him anything. Moments later, he lifts the locket from the ground unharmed. Relief crashes over her, and without thinking, she throws her arms around him. The hug lingers just a moment too long. Both of them freeze, suddenly aware of how close they are. Embarrassed, they pull away and pretend nothing happened. As they walk, they encounter Hae-jae again. Jae-woon's attention immediately shifts to her, worry etched on his face. Hae-jae notices the way he looks at Hwan and misinterprets the scene completely. Her heart aches, believing she has once again been left behind. She quietly turns away, tears forming before she can stop them. Back at the villa, Seo-woo takes charge of preparing a barbecue with Jae-young and assigns Yoon-seon to handle logistics. During the preparations, Seo-woo learns that Hwan had pressured his manager using an old embarrassing photo from their school days. Instead of being angry, he is amused and impressed by her determination. Jae-young opens up about Hwan's painful family situation, explaining how much she has endured because of her stepmother and sister. Curious, Seo-woo asks what kind of man Hwan likes. When Jae-young teasingly asks if he likes her himself, Seo-woo avoids answering, his silence revealing more than words. Elsewhere, Jae-woon and Hyun Min discover that the bathroom door lock is broken. Jae-woon leaves but accidentally forgets his phone inside. When he returns to retrieve it, Hwan is showering. Believing Hyun Min is inside, Jae-woon calls out for his phone. Hwan freezes in shock, unable to respond. Fearing something is wrong, Jae-woon opens the door only to be struck by a bar of soap as Hwan yells for him to leave. Mortified, he retreats instantly. Hwan, flustered and red-faced, steps out later to find him standing guard, explaining that he stayed to make sure no one else would enter. Later that evening, Hwan mistakes rice wine for milk and drinks it, quickly becoming drunk. Her walls collapse. She scolds Yoon-seon playfully for being too formal and confesses how much she wanted this trip because she never had friends to travel with before. She admits that the matching jackets and team activities were her way of finally experiencing something she missed her entire life. Touched, everyone agrees to wear the jackets and join the games. When it is Jae-woon's turn during the game, he blurts out that he loves her. Startled, Hwan pushes him away. Drunk and unfiltered, Jae-woon then tells Hyun Min he loves him too, causing chaos and laughter. Hyun Min sits beside Hwan and claims her as his girlfriend, but she firmly denies it. In that moment, the truth becomes clear to everyone: she was never his girlfriend at all. The night ends in laughter, sickness, and confusion. In the haze of alcohol and emotions, Jae-woon and Hwan share a brief, unexpected kiss. The next morning, Hwan wakes to find Jae-woon asleep outside her room. Memories of the kiss flood back, leaving her shaken. As she rushes to the bathroom, she slips, hits her head, and loses consciousness. She wakes up in the hospital with a bandaged head and her foot in a cast. Thankfully, her injury is minor, but she will need crutches. Everyone returns home early and Jae-woon tries to help her walk. She refuses, unsure how to face him. Hae-jae teases Jae-woon about how cute he was when drunk, making him blush. Soon after, suspicious men appear asking questions about Hae-jae's father. Jae-woon immediately steps in, intimidating them until they leave. Later, Jae-woon discovers a selfie he took with Hwan while drunk, leaving him stunned. Life slowly resumes. Seo-woo brings food, Hyun-min brings clothes, and everyone fusses over Hwan. Seo-woo learns that the media plans to release photos linking him romantically to Hwan. Fearing she will be hurt again by rumors, he orders his manager to stop it. He even writes a love song inspired by her. Hwan, unaware of this, encourages Hyun-min to acknowledge Hae-jae's devotion, praising her courage and sincerity. One evening, Jae-woon helps Hwan wash her hair because of her injury. The intimacy is quiet but heavy with unspoken feelings. Later, Hae-jae visits Hyun-min and finds an old photo of the three of them with her brother. When she asks what she means to him, he coldly says she means nothing. Heartbroken, she leaves and confronts Jae-woon. Furious, Jae-woon storms to Hyun-min demanding answers. Hae-jae finally finds her strength and tells Hyun-min she will no longer cry for him. She ends everything. Turning to Jae-woon, she asks if he will accept her feelings. Hwan overhears everything. Her heart shatters knowing she loves Jae-woon and understanding how much Hae-jae matters to him. Jae-woon is speechless. Hyun-min storms away, unable to accept the situation. Hae-jae tells Jae-woon he does not need to answer immediately. Later that night, Hwan quietly returns Jae-woon's watch, wishes him good night, and walks away, convincing herself that Jae-woon and Hae-jae belong together, even as her own heart breaks in silence. After everything that had happened, Hwan could no longer keep her thoughts locked inside. She poured out her confusion and worries to her closest friend, trying to understand the tangled emotions surrounding Jae-woon. Her friend listened carefully and then suggested another possibility. Maybe Jae-woon's feelings for Hae-jae had always been one-sided, and perhaps without realizing it, he had begun to fall for someone else instead. The moment Hwan heard this, her heart leapt with sudden hope. A bright smile spread across her face as she excitedly declared that the someone else had to be her. In her mind, everything finally made sense. Jae-woon loved her. Desperate to confirm her belief, Hwan turned to the internet, searching for advice the way countless confused hearts do. Among the many responses, one comment stood out to her. If a person truly likes you, they will not lose their temper no matter what you do. Taking this suggestion seriously, Hwan decided to test Jae-woon's patience. First, she lightly struck him with a book, watching his reaction closely. He barely reacted. Next, she deliberately spilled juice on him. Again, he did not get angry. Encouraged, she took things further and stormed into his workshop, carelessly rearranging and ruining the space he treasured most. This time, Jae-woon snapped. His voice rose as he scolded her sharply. Instead of backing down, Hwan accused him of yelling at someone who was still injured and complained that he had not even bothered to bring her proper food. Her words struck him harder than expected. Guilt crept into his expression and his anger faded. Elsewhere, Hyun-min confronted Hae-jae, accusing her of using Jae-woon to make him jealous. Hae-jae denied it firmly. Before the argument could escalate, Jae-woon appeared, questioning Hyun-min's presence. Without another word, Jae-woon left with Hae-jae, leaving Hyun-min simmering with rage. Consumed by jealousy and frustration, Hyun-min stormed into Jae-woon's room and destroyed the model car Jae-woon cherished most. Moments later, Hwan arrived, intending to ask Jae-woon directly if he had feelings for her. Instead, she found Hyun-min in turmoil. From his behavior, she realized that his anger stemmed from jealousy over Hae-jae's confession. Still, Hyun-min refused to admit it. Later, Hwan sought reassurance from Seo-woo, nervously asking whether someone as admired and beautiful as him could ever like someone like her. Seo-woo answered without hesitation, telling her that to him she was even more beautiful than Hae-jae. What Hwan did not realize was that Seo-woo had already fallen for her. Soon after, Seo-woo released a new album, every song written with Hwan in mind. He named the album Confession. When he later sang one of those songs directly to her, looking into her eyes, Hwan felt her heart tremble. For a fleeting moment, she believed the song was meant only for her, but she quickly dismissed the thought, convinced she was imagining things. Jae-woon later brought Hwan a meal, gently reminding her not to complain this time. She ate happily, enjoying the quiet comfort of his presence. During a follow-up hospital visit, Hwan learned that her foot had healed properly. On the way home, she spent more time with Jae-woon, feeling herself drawn to him more deeply than before. He noticed her growing closeness and subtly leaned in, testing the distance between them. Nervously, Hwan asked whether he liked someone else. Before he could answer, his phone rang. It was Hae-jae. Jae-woon immediately left to meet her. Hae-jae was waiting in tears. She revealed devastating news. Her father had been taken to the prosecutor's office and their home had been seized by court order. Meanwhile, Hwan returned home heartbroken only to find Hyun-min, who had just learned about Hae-jae's situation. Soon after, Jae-woon arrived with Hae-jae, and it was decided that Hae-jae would stay at Sky House as well. Their bond, forged through shared pain and comfort, grew deeper. Hwan remembered how Jae-woon and Hae-jae had first met, both moments filled with grief, kindness, and silent understanding. As life at Sky House continued, more secrets surfaced. It was revealed that Yoon-seong's mother was actually the new wife's child, a truth carefully hidden. Yoon-seong had been separated from his mother for years, only to discover later that Mr. Kang had married her for wealth. She had even tried to force Yoon-seong into a marriage of convenience, which he refused. When Jae-woon later checked on Hwan, casually asking if she had returned, he told her to take care of Hae-jae before leaving. Those words convinced Hwan that Jae-woon's heart belonged to Hae-jae. The following morning, Hwan noticed how quiet the house had become. The caretaker explained that since another girl had arrived, all the men had suddenly become more mindful of their behavior. Hwan felt invisible, wondering why no one had ever treated her the same way. Hae-jae soon appeared dressed elegantly, drawing everyone's attention. Seo-woo looked surprised, and Jae-woon paused upon seeing her. Overwhelmed with embarrassment, Hwan fled the room. Later, Hyun-min tried to explain to Hae-jae why he had missed her calls, but she cut him off, accusing him of always choosing Jae-woon over her. She pointed out that whenever she needed help, Jae-woon was always the first to arrive. Distraught over her father's case, Hae-jae went to visit him, and Hyun-min secretly used his connections to help her by retrieving her father's belongings. Despite this, she rejected his help and walked away. Hyun-min then handed the key to Jae-woon, asking him to retrieve Hae-jae's things. Jae-woon did so, and Hae-jae was deeply grateful. She suggested he treat her to a meal, and he took her to the same noodle shop he once visited often with Hwan. When Hwan found out, her heart sank. Jae-woon bought Hwan a gift, but circumstances prevented him from giving it to her. Jae-woon later confronted Hyun-min, questioning why he continued to help Hae-jae without confessing his feelings. Hyun-min replied that he did not want to burden her. Jae-woon insisted he was only supporting Hae-jae as a friend. When Jae-woon checked on Hwan again, he apologized for leaving Hae-jae alone at the hospital earlier. Hearing this, Hwan felt hopeful once more. However, when Hwan accidentally ruined Hae-jae's dress, she lent her own. Hae-jae then casually mentioned that Jae-woon had accepted her confession, claiming he felt the same. Those words shattered Hwan. Later, wearing Hwan's dress, Hae-jae was mistaken for Hwan by Hyun-min, leading to further confusion. When Jae-woon demanded that Hwan tell him what was wrong, she angrily accused him of creating misunderstandings and claimed she already knew everything from Hae-jae. Confused, Jae-woon confronted Hae-jae, who repeated the lie. Jae-woon denied it outright, admitting instead that he loved Hwan. He left Hae-jae behind and rushed to find Hwan. At the same time, Hwan's stepmother approached a man named Yang-jin, suggesting he was Hwan's biological father. Though he denied it at first, once he learned of Hwan's wealth, he sought her out. When he appeared at Sky House and claimed to be her real father, Hwan's world collapsed. Overwhelmed, she wandered to a bridge and cried uncontrollably. Jae-woon learned everything from the caretaker and desperately searched for her, calling repeatedly. Eventually, both arrived at her mother's memorial. Unable to hold back anymore, Hwan collapsed into Jae-woon's arms, sobbing as he held her tightly, silently promising not to let her face the pain alone again. After everything that had happened, Ji-yoon finally opened up about his own past. He told Hwan about the moment he discovered that his father was connected to the Kang family. Listening to this made Hwan reflect deeply on her own situation. She began to feel that she could no longer avoid the truth, and that she needed to meet the man who claimed to be her real father and understand everything clearly. Soon after, Ji-yoon met with Hye-ji privately. With a serious and calm expression, he told her honestly that his heart belonged to Hwan. Hearing this, Hye-ji was deeply hurt and questioned him, saying that he had always been by her side, supporting her through everything. Ji-yoon responded gently but firmly, asking her whether she truly believed he could replace the emptiness Hyun-min had left in her heart. Without waiting for an answer, Ji-yoon left, knowing that staying longer would only make things more painful. The story then shifts to the past, revealing a childhood memory. Hye-ji's brother and Hyun-min had once been very close friends. One tragic day, a terrible accident happened right in front of Hyun-min, leading to Hye-ji's brother's death. Hyun-min had carried the guilt of that moment ever since, blaming himself for what happened. Because of this lingering guilt, he had always struggled to accept his feelings for Hye-ji, believing he did not deserve happiness. Later, Ji-yoon met Yang-jin, the man who claimed to be Hwan's father. Yang-jin said he wanted to live with Hwan but explained that he was facing serious financial difficulties. Ji-yoon gave him money and asked him to take good care of Hwan, suggesting he use it to buy food and necessities for her. When Hwan later met Yang-jin, he treated her to a meal. Feeling uneasy, Hwan made an excuse to leave but returned shortly afterward with a small gift for him. During their conversation, Yang Jin once again mentioned his money problems and indirectly asked her for financial help. Hwan replied honestly that she did not have any money. Yang Jin then revealed that the money he had used earlier was actually given to him by Ji-yoon. Shocked and hurt, Hwan left immediately. At the same time, Hun Min learned that Hiji had been drinking heavily at a nightclub. He asked Ji-yoon whether he planned to go to her. Ji-yoon replied that since Hun Min still had unresolved feelings for Hiji, he should be the one to take responsibility and look after her. Meanwhile, Hwan confronted Ji-yoon and told him not to interfere in her personal matters anymore. Ji-yoon, however, continued investigating the truth about Hwan's father. Hwan decided to meet Yang Jin again, but this time Ji-yoon arrived with a report that revealed a shocking truth. Yang Jin was not her biological father. It turned out that Hwan's stepmother had learned that Hwan was searching for her real father and that this search was connected to a wealthy family. Taking advantage of the situation, Yang Jin had pretended to be her father for personal gain. Realizing this, Hwan confronted him and declared that her mother could never have married someone like him. She firmly rejected him and left with Ji-yoon, feeling relieved and happier than before. Elsewhere, Hun Min discovered that Hiji was dating a man who was actually a fraud and serial cheater. Furious, Hun Min intervened and forcibly took her away from that situation. At the same time, Ji-yoon and Hwan were spending meaningful time together. Ji-yoon finally gave Hwan a gift and confessed his love to her properly. The two returned together, genuinely happy. On their way back, Hwan learned from the media that Seo-woo had been involved in rumors claiming he liked Hwan, who had once been falsely labeled as Hun Min's fiancé. Hwan quickly clarified everything to Ji-yoon, explaining that there was nothing between her and Seo-woo. She also asked Ji-yoon not to reveal their relationship, reminding him of Mr. Kang's strict rule that Hwan was forbidden from dating any of the Kang brothers while living in Sky House. Both Hwan and Seo-woo reassured everyone that there was no romantic involvement between them. Mr. Kang warned Hwan that if she broke the rules, she would be forced to leave Sky House. This created tension and sadness among everyone. As a result, Ji-yoon and Hwan began secretly dating. They spent quiet moments cooking together and sharing meals. Whenever Seo-woo unexpectedly appeared, Hwan would panic and hide Ji-yoon under the table to avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, the truth about Hwan's real father finally came to light. Her actual father learned from Yang Jin that Yang Jin was not Hwan's biological parent. He explained that he had once protected Hwan's mother's property from fraud. When Hwan's mother went to confront him, a fire broke out in the apartment while he was away. She lost her life while trying to save another woman. Overwhelmed with regret and grief, Hwan's real father was devastated by the truth. Later, Hwan's father sincerely apologized to her. Hwan, after much emotional struggle, forgave him. Father and daughter finally reconciled, and Hwan felt genuine happiness knowing that the man standing before her was truly her real father. On the other side, Hun Min went to find Hiji only to discover that she had already left Sky House. He confessed his love to her, admitting that he had been drowning in guilt since her brother's accident. Hiji, unable to accept his confession, walked away, though Hun Min continued to help her silently from afar. Yoon-yang later discovered that his mother, Hyo-young, was supporting an orphanage. He learned that she was trying to make up for everything she could not do for her own son by helping other children. Realizing how deeply his mother missed him, Yoon-yang was overcome with sadness. One day, Seo-woo saw Hwan and Ji-yoon together and assumed they were on a date. When Yoon-yang appeared, Seo-woo tried to hide the truth. Unfortunately, Mr. Kang also saw them together and realized they were secretly dating. Furious, he summoned Hwan and gave her an ultimatum: she must choose between Ji-yoon and her future. Heartbroken, Hwan left. Soon after, Mr. Kang's health suddenly deteriorated and he collapsed. It was revealed that he had liver cancer and urgently needed a donor. Neither Seo-woo nor Hun Min was a match. Hyo-young blamed Hwan for breaking the dating rule and claimed that this stress caused Mr. Kang's condition to worsen. Hwan was crushed by guilt. Ji-yoon later discovered old photographs and a letter in his workshop that revealed how Mr. Kang had rejected his parents' relationship, leading to their separation. Enraged by the truth, Ji-yoon confronted his grandfather emotionally. Meanwhile, Hyo-young used the chaos to attempt a corporate takeover, transferring shares into Yoon-yang's name. Hwan eventually left Sky House. When she met Ji-yoon again, she said bitterly that she had once imagined herself as Cinderella, but in reality she had only been a part-time worker in their world. Deeply hurt, Ji-yoon begged her not to leave, warning that if she walked away, he would never see her again. Despite her sadness, Hwan left. She began working at her friend Jae-young's cafe. Her father visited her there and spoke about returning the ring her mother had worn at the end of her life, believing it would help them both move forward. Meanwhile, Hun Min grew suspicious of Yunyang, who had not even visited Mr. Kang in the hospital. He discussed this with Seo Woo and mentioned that Hallwin had also been tested as a donor but was not a match. Ji-yoon was the last person left to be tested, but no one knew where he was. Seo Woo asked Hallwin to convince Ji-yoon to get tested. Hallwin went to Ji-yoon and showed him messages Mr. Kang had written to his father. She urged him not to run away and reminded him that he was his grandfather's final hope. After much hesitation, Ji-yoon agreed. His test was a match. Although Mr. Kang's life could be saved, Hallwin remained burdened with guilt. Ji-yoon's cousins waited for him at the hospital. Even when he told them they didn't need to wait, they stayed. The three sat together quietly. Ji-yoon asked Hun Min whether he had come because of Hallwin. Hun Min replied that he was there for their grandfather. Seeing them together, Hallwin smiled softly, moved by their bond. After everything that had happened, Ji-yoon finally went to see his grandfather. Standing beside his hospital bed, he spoke calmly and sincerely. He told him that he had chosen to forgive him not for his own sake but on behalf of his mother, who had suffered quietly for years. He asked his grandfather to focus on recovering and promised that he would do his part to protect the family. Later, while walking together, Ji-yoon spoke honestly to Hallwin. He told her that he wanted to clear every misunderstanding that had grown between them. He said he knew that she also wanted to be with him and build a life together. Hearing this, Hallwin felt overwhelmed and tried to walk away. Ji-yoon could not let her go so easily. He stepped forward and hugged her from behind, holding her tightly as if afraid she might disappear. Soon after, an unexpected and frightening truth came to light. Ji-yoon learned that he was severely allergic to anesthetic drugs. Doctors explained that during surgery there was a serious risk he could go into shock, which could even threaten his life. Despite knowing the danger, Ji-yoon did not hesitate. He made it clear that he was willing to risk everything if it meant saving his grandfather. At the same time, Hedy, a well-known and respected fashion designer, offered Hiji a life-changing opportunity. He proposed becoming her mentor and even recommended her to a prestigious fashion design school. However, when Hiji saw photos of Hedy and Hun Min together on social media, she learned that Hun Min had requested Hedy's help behind her back. Curious and conflicted, she met with Carrie, who confirmed that Hun Min had indeed asked him to support her. Carrie assured her that while Hun Min had initiated the meeting, he himself was genuinely impressed by her talent and wanted to guide her professionally. Still, Hiji could not shake the feeling that Hun Min was helping her out of sympathy rather than belief in her abilities, which deeply upset her. Meanwhile, Hyung secretly met with a lawyer to discuss her plans. Hun Min overheard their conversation and immediately understood her intentions. Furious, he confronted Yunyang and accused him of being involved. Yunyang responded angrily, pointing out that the company was already in decline and criticizing Hun Min for lacking the ability to protect its position. Hun Min fired back, declaring that he would prove his worth and safeguard both the company and his grandfather's legacy. He began meeting with key stakeholders and employees, slowly gaining their trust and stabilizing the situation. Back at the hospital, Ji-yoon and Hallwin spent precious time together, supporting each other emotionally. News soon spread through the media that Mr. Kang's condition was critical and that he might be forced to step down from his position. This worried everyone, especially Seo Woo and Ji-yoon. As a shareholder, Ji-yoon made a bold decision and transferred his voting power to Hun Min, trusting him to defend the company during this crisis. Elsewhere, Seo Woo grew closer to Hallwin's friend and their friendship deepened naturally. Before the surgery, Ji-yoon arranged a simple yet meaningful date with Hallwin. They watched a movie together, shared food, and tried to create happy memories in case the future turned uncertain. Shortly after, Mr. Kang's surgery began. During the operation, Ji-yoon suffered a severe reaction to the anesthetic, went into shock, and fell into a coma. Hallwin stayed by his side day and night, caring for him tirelessly and refusing to leave until he woke up. During a crucial shareholder meeting, Hun Min took charge. Both he and Yunyang cast their votes in favor of Mr. Kang, securing his position and preventing Hyung's takeover. When Mr. Kang finally regained consciousness, he learned the truth about Hyung and Yunyang's actions. Around the same time, Hallwin discovered through her stepmother and sister that her father had been involved in a serious accident. The driver was badly injured, and her father had been jailed. A large sum of money was needed to resolve the situation. Mr. Kang offered to provide the money, but only on one condition. Hallwin had to leave Ji-yoon and disappear from his life. Feeling trapped and desperate to save her father, Hallwin agreed. When Ji-yoon eventually woke up and learned everything, he was not angry. He knew Hallwin's heart too well to doubt her love. He went directly to his grandfather, knelt before him, and begged him not to separate them. Moved by Ji-yoon's sincerity, Mr. Kang finally accepted their relationship. More truths came to light afterward. Ji-yoon learned from Hallwin's father that Hallwin's mother had died while trying to save his own mother. The ring Hallwin had been carrying all along originally belonged to Ji-yoon's mother and was meant for him. It was also revealed that as children, Hallwin and Ji-yoon had once met at a fuel house. Their mothers had known each other, and the children had promised to meet again when they grew up. unaware of the tragedy that would later bind their fates. Meanwhile, Hunmin finally confronted his feelings and began a relationship with Hiji. Together, they visited her brother's grave. Hunmin spoke quietly, admitting that since her brother's death, guilt had consumed him. He promised that from now on he would live for Hiji and love her sincerely. He then confessed his love to her openly. Later, Hunmin gifted Hawin a pair of sandals. Wearing them, she went to Jiyun and the two shared joyful moments, reminiscing about their childhood connection. Jiyun told her that whenever she looked at the ring, she should no longer think only of her mother but also of him and their future together. Smiling, Hawin placed the ring on his finger as well. In the end, Mr. Kang forgave his wife Hyu Yang and reconciled with her. Yoon Young returned to the company, choosing to stand by the family. Seo Woo dedicated himself fully to his music career, while Hawin's friend became his assistant and stayed by his side. Eventually, everyone found peace and happiness and they all enjoyed a holiday together. And so, like a modern fairy tale, Cinderella finally found not only love but truth, family, and a future she could call her own.